We're introducing Juma tonight. Very, very excited to tell you a bit more about this. But I always start with telling a bit more about myself. I don't know, I know many of you because you've been coming to our events, and I'm very grateful for this. My name is Iliya, co-founder, CEO of Juma. I was a math competitor for 12 years, and then I had multiple startups, 365 Data Science, Triveta, and then Team GPT, which now is called Juma. No surprise, like review of the name change, but yeah. We became a bit more famous around this, the big funding that Team GPT secured almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. As you know, it all started in this small office in, it's right across it's in the city center. It's an old apartment on the first floor. There was not much light, and we were getting there coding a lot. And that's my dog over there. And this is where it started, a small experiment, a collaborative platform where you could work with AI models. You could connect OpenAI. You could connect, back then, Meta was a thing. And yeah, so you could connect different models, and you could compare the results. You could organize your prompts and this and that. This startup got a lot of traction, and we were building a lot in public. You remember, you kind of remember our journey on LinkedIn, and we managed to secure this big funding round. Later, we organized a bunch of hackathons. We were in the news in many ways. Here we brought our board member Michael Montano, who used to be head of engineering at Twitter. We brought him to Sofia for the hackathon, and this has been kind of our journey so far. Now, I'm not here today to talk about this, but if anyone wonders how this happened, we build in public. Every single number that we have about our company is public. So how much money we've spent, how much money we've made, how many people on the team, all of these things, we regularly post about them on LinkedIn. And this is actually my personal blog where I've kind of curated the best stuff. Feel free to explore it if that's of more interest. Now that's out of the way, we can get into what we've gathered about. So as of today, Juma, ex Team GPT, I still have all these visuals from before. It has about 80,000 users, and we're making about $1.1 million per year. We're working with great companies from all around the world, Costa Coffee, Hopkins University, Salesforce is a client, one team from Salesforce, not the whole Salesforce, but of course, we have to put their logo, and a bunch of marketing agencies, which they seem to be most excited about our product. And this is very key to today, because as we were working with all of these companies, and some of them are, behemoths, we realized that a small startup like ours cannot service everyone. And everybody will tell you this, oh, you have to hyper-focus, you have to find the vertical and whatever, but it's very hard to do it on the first day. When we started Team GPT, we didn't know who is going to be excited about this. We were excited about it, so we put it out in the world, but we didn't know who else is going to care, basically. So what did we do about it? As data-driven people, we pulled out graphs and more graphs and other graphs and usage data and customer interviews. And then we had these meetings, and we were constantly asking ourselves this question: who uses us? Who cares about what we do? Where do we bring value? Why do people pay us? And they're paying us $1 million, and we still don't know who is paying us these dollars, even if we had all the data. Because it's actually not that simple to get to the bottom of this question. We spent, I would say, so we had a gut feeling about a month after we started digging into the data. About 3 months after that, we released this thing, Team GPT 3.0 for marketing people. I don't know who remembers this. This was in June 2025. We released Team GPT is now for marketers, and we didn't change anything about the product. So the product remained 100% the same, but we said now it's for marketing. And we kind of, we were very, interested to see what's going to happen then. And then something really, really interesting happened. We got this explosion of marketing interest, and this graph matters because these are the use cases on our platform, the problems that we're solving, and as you can see, this is marketing, the crazy growing one. The blue one is software engineering, so software engineers are also happy with our platform, and then the others are education, customer support, legal, HR, language and translation, professional communication, whatever that is. And as you can see, when we started, actually the leading one was education, which is quite weird, but probably because of my background with your online courses, my personal audience was education. So you see, it starts with education, and then a bunch of others are seeing a lot of value in our company, and then it becomes really, really clear that actually marketing people are getting a lot of value out of our system. Now, it took us a year and a half to reach this point at which things become a bit more clear. And I think this is quite normal for a new startup to not know what they do on the first day. But later things become a bit clearer. Now, this graph, at the moment it happens, a bit later, we were already doing $1 million in ARR, and we told each other, the moment we hit $1 million, we are gonna kind of change, we're gonna change something about our company. We're gonna make a pivot, as people call it, and we're gonna change our name, we're gonna build a brand, we're gonna have a new identity. And we've been talking about this since we were doing 200K per year, since the fundraise. I always like to quote this. After we analyzed the data, Mario from our team, he sent this message. And one of the things he said was, we should approach marketing with conviction. This is a very VC expression, but he's right about it. We have to be, we need to have conviction. We need to be very, confident about this. And, logically it makes sense. And we should fully commit to this. And so we decided, okay, we're approaching marketing with conviction. What does this mean? Like, how do we do it? And then we decided that the thing we need to do is to change the name, change the positioning, and fully focus the product, change the product for marketers. And now I've prepared a short movie. Maybe you've seen bits of it, but we launched this series, and I'll shut up and let it play.
So OpenAI sent us not one, but 2 legal letters about our name, Team GPT.
2, because apparently the first one wasn't clear enough.
Now, most companies will handle this differently. They will respond professionally, they will file this away or try to negotiate.
But we are marketers.
And we're obviously creative with our problem solving.
So we asked ChatGPT what to do with them, and we got these answers. Yes.
Man, whatever. Let's just rebrand.
So this was the first video. So many people ask us about these letters, are they real or whatever. They came in a year and a half ago, actually. So we knew that OpenAI doesn't like us being called like this. And it wasn't OpenAI, it was mainly their lawyers that had an agenda to do this. Probably people at OpenAI didn't even know that this is happening. But their account manager is asking us to buy more credits from OpenAI. At the same time, we received this note. The reality of this is that if you want to build a multi-billion-dollar company, you cannot be code like another company. This is the reality. And when we became Team GPT, when we were first called Team GPT, we were not building a billion-dollar company. We were, building a tool which is helping teams work with GPT. This was the idea. After we got this great validation along the way, it became clear that we need to be our own thing. And this guy from the video, Andre, he's the guy who actually, when he came on board, we were doing 200K ARR, and he said, we have to change the name. And I said, absolutely, but not today. So he was leading the whole effort. And when we started the rebranding, here is how it went.
Hey guys, how we doing? Are we ready to pick some names and brainstorm? No, I'm wrong. I'm just gonna keep it simple.
Okay, so what suggestions do we have so far?
Let me show you. First one is Team Tropic.
Yeah, no, that's not a good one.
Then we have Closed AI.
Yeah, I love that. That's
What about Team Geppetto?
Like Pinocchio.
yeah, no, that's not serious enough.
Okay. Not Team GPT. And how about Abracadabra? That's my personal
This makes me
favorite.
think of the Lady Gaga song. No.
And maybe GPT. Okay.
Come on, we need to think of something better.
Guys, I think someone's knocking at the door. Let me go get it. Guys, I think we got it.
This is kind of the point at which we knew we were gonna change our name. We didn't know what the new name is gonna be, and we were in this process already. So how do you sell a product where you know you're gonna be coded in a different way, you're gonna serve a different audience? So we made all of our marketing efforts about the thing that we're doing. We're rebranding, we're changing the name. There's nothing else we can do. We can just hype about something. And everybody would come to me and say, what's the new name? What's the new name? I don't know. I really didn't know what the new name is gonna be because it took a lot of time to get the name right. So this is kind of the process we went through 300 names. So the whole team was thinking about this for about, can you click present? The whole team was thinking about this for about 6 months, and some of the options are, Keystone, Ritual, Anchor, Pilotplex, Steer Suite, Chief Chain, Ikigai. What else? Hloop, Ignite. I don't know. We had all of these Revel, Buzzbase. My favorite, Martoshi, but nobody wanted to be called like this. And we went through these names, and it was very, very painful process because you're changing everything about yourself and everything that people know me as Iliya from Team GPT, and now it's Iliya from Revelate. It's just weird. So we hired this agency, and then after a whole week of thinking, they come to us and they're like, we have it, we have the perfect name for you. You're gonna be called Acera. And it's funny only for Bulgarians, but this is a UK-based agency, and they're like, oh, we feel really good about this. It's really the new era of augmented work. So we were very, and then we go back to them and they're like, guys, we have to be a bit more serious about this. And we explained to them, then we started researching. It turns out that every name means something else in a different language. So this becomes an even harder process. And then they came up with this name, Juma. And it meant a lot of things, but the two that resonated with us quite a lot, one of them was Juma for just marketing, and this really clicked with us. But then when we started researching, Juma is actually, it means Friday in Arabic and Swahili, and it's their day off. They don't work on Juma. Actually, people were very excited about this, and when we launched a full-scale survey, 100 people from these countries, how do you feel about this? Is this offensive to you? Is this? And in the end, everybody was like, "This is an amazing name. It's really good. It means just marketing." At the same time, Friday, it's chill day, all these things, and we're like, "Oh yeah, like we found it," and this was the first branding. I don't know how much you can see of it, but it was this flowy. This was it was very interesting, but very metallic, very cold. And we were like, "Oh, this is not us." And we go back to the agency and we're like, "Do it again." And they come to us and they're like, "Think together, move as one." And then this sparkly thing, like, this is not bad. It's better, but it's not super. I don't know. It's not super different or whatever. And then they're like, okay, let's. And by the way, this looks like a Shivica. I don't know if you can see. They didn't know. They did it, and we're like, okay, another Bulgarian thing you've nailed. Which this time it's a good thing, but still. And then they come to us with this third vision, and they're like, it's really good. It's really like everything, and it's think together, move as one. This purplish blue thing, and I'm like, I've been building Triveta, like this startup which has the same color scheme for 3 years. I cannot do this to myself again. Please, like other colors. And they're, but it's so different. And I'm like, not to me. Like to me, it's like I've seen these colors too many times. It has to be something different. It has to be something which is more us. And in the meantime, go back to the video. We're in San Francisco and we're about to launch the video. We're putting the last episode of the rebranding. Go. For over 2 years, the name Team GPT served us with distinction. With Team GPT, we welcomed our first user.
Today we have more than 75,000 users.
With the name Team GPT, we crossed 1 million in ARR. 1 million reasons to believe we're onto something special.
And that something special deserves a new name, a new vision. But the team behind the name will continue serving you with a new name and our own identity. Thanks, Team GPT. This was basically the last time we used Team GPT in any external facing thing. The music behind was completely AI generated, and it was very fitting. And you can go back to a presentation, and then we had like 10 days to get it done, and because 10 days before we rebranded, we learned the name. We wanted to reach something which is much closer to us, to our team. Now, the dev team had 10 days to get this done, and then they just sat and they, with the biggest confidence and chilled as fuck from my perspective, they just methodically changed everything and they got it done. It was an absolutely incredible team effort from the internal team, Team GPT back then team. So amazing job, guys. Thank you. Personally, I'm very, very happy with the final results that this rebranding had. But the most important thing is what is the product? So what does the product do? It doesn't really matter what anything else is if the product doesn't do something exciting. And our product, now it looks very simple. Something we've learned along the way is that the more buttons you have nowadays, the more complicated it is. People cannot stand buttons anymore. So everybody expects a chat interface everywhere they go, and they expect to put something in and then some magic to happen. And this is where our industry is converging. So we've been joking that our admin panel behind the scenes is becoming the core product. So people see just this thing while we do all these other things under the hood. You know, agents or tools, integration, all of this has to work, and nobody should click a button to make it work, right? And we focused really on marketing. So we got back to the roots of this thing, and we're like, okay, so how do we solve these marketing workflows? We had these 700 use cases that we identified along the way that marketers were using, and we said, okay, how do we solve them? 10 times better. Each use case has to be solved 10 times better than anything which is on the market. And again and again and again, it was going back to this idea of these agents, and they have to be autonomous because we don't know what you're gonna write in the chat input. And every time we tried to make it deterministic, it was just not working well. Now, I want to show just 2-3 use cases. I'm not going to take you through the whole agentic workflow, but basically, in this case, I take this article by Mario, which is amazing, the 5 axioms of context, and I say perform keyword research, then optimize for SEO, GEO. This is a very, very simplistic prompt. And then it goes, visits the page, takes the page, goes, does keyword research based on this article, decides which keywords are important. Then it goes back to the guide and it goes to see, oh, what else can I do with this? Then it goes and then does another keyword overview. Then it goes to find other terms which are similar to this one. And this is a whole loop which it is going again and again and again, trying to solve this task. Here on this side, you can see some of the output, like I spared most of the output, but it's doing the work of the SEO people for you. It's pulling data from Ahrefs where they would pull data. So it's basically going, taking the fresh data, finding what matters, filtering it out, and then finally finishing the whole thing by writing the whole, writing the article. This to me saves many hours to people. But for us to be able to evolve our product to this, we have to say, no, we are not serving every enterprise. We're not serving Salesforce. Sorry, but they're still clients, but we're not serving you anymore. We are serving these guys. Another thing which was happening again and again, it was graphs data analysis. So LLMs cannot do math well, and we had to solve math for them. People just expect to put in Excel spreadsheets and have magic happen. This happens again through an agent, which, as Yavor explained, it's a virtual machine which gets spun up. We write code on the fly, so each time it sees a task, it just writes code, and if it's wrong, it self-heals, and so on. In this case, I was doing this investor report, and I basically said, I'm creating a year-end Christmas update for the team. Can you analyze how we did in 2025 and plot some charts? I didn't even know what charts are going to come out. And it came out with ARR growth, monthly ARR, cash position, burn rate, whatever. Most interestingly for me, there was even a timeline, which was we started at 290K, then we migrated to version 2, then we hit 500K ARR over here. Team GPT 3.0 launched in June, worst month, July. We became compliant in September, ISO SOC, whatever. It took all the I didn't know what this report was going to be about, and this is what the agent does. This is how powerful these systems are, and it's not like we've invented everything about this. No, we've taken this idea for the agents, and we have just specialized it for these use cases that marketers have. It can create PDFs, Excels, documents, presentations. So here is a PDF which is completely created by the agent. Here's a presentation. Again, the prompt is create a presentation. It creates a PowerPoint presentation, puts in the whole stuff. The whole thing is done by the agent. The most important thing here is if it's a deterministic workflow, as Yavor mentioned before, it doesn't work. If you use Zapier, Make, whatever, it's gonna break along the way. It has to be a self-healing system which is writing code on the fly. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Even websites, we realized that we built Lovable without knowing. By the way, here in the room we have Kalu, who built Lovable, Striama.app. Kalu is 19 years old and he built a Lovable competitor. Please give it up for Kalu. But what Kalu did back with Striama is very similar. He built an agent which is writing code, and this code creates a website. In the same way, as we were solving some problems, we managed to solve a bunch of other problems. And in this case, we present the marketing stuff in the website form. This is what we can do today. As we're going forward, we call this a super agent, and the super agent is already able, on our dev environment, is already able to plan and autonomously perform any marketing task. So whatever you give it, if it has access to your Google Analytics, your Ahrefs, your YouTube channel, your social media accounts, it can perform any task as long as you give it the goal. It needs the objective and the access to do it. Historically, we've been always doing this with your own data as well. So if you add your own data, it's going to be much, much better, right? But now it's becoming more and more autonomous each day. We believe that every time you create a product, every time you have an idea and you want to turn it into something real, you should not be buried into the technicalities. Nobody should be setting up campaigns in Meta or Google. Nobody should even know how to do it. You know that you want to run some ads and get some people to your product. This will all be automated and is already being automated by agents like Juma, and hopefully we're going to be the fastest one to market with this one. But we really believe that in the future, in the same way anybody can create software, everybody will be able to market anything. And this is basically the problem that we're solving. I really want to invite you to try Juma and experience the joy of using it. Thank you so much for coming to our launch event.